The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Everyone, and welcome to Open. This, of course, is the show that brings you the best that New York and the Bronx has to offer in art, music, entertainment, sports, and much, much more. I'm Rina Valentin, your Café con Leche and host this Friday morning. And first up, we'll highlight some of the fun things happening around the city in our Open Weekend Preview. And the minds behind T&A Comedy on YouTube stop by to tell us about their new shorts that's playing in the Bronx Week Film Festival. Plus, Alonzo Bolding, a photographer who's worked with many celebrities, he's here, but you'll have to stay tuned to find out who he's got captured. Bobby C gives us his take on the Tebow phenomenon in his sports roundup. And finally, our Open Artist Spotlight shines on a fantastic poet. So stay tuned. All that and more headed your way, because now we are officially open. Hello and good morning once again. I'm your host, Karina Valentin, and you are watching Open. We have a great show lined up for you today and to lead you into the weekend, that's right. But, you know, we are always reminding you that we are live and interactive. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to send them our way. It's easy. All you got to do is send us an email to open@bronxnet.org, and or you can comment on any episodes by going to www.bronxnet.org/TV. And, remember to like us on Facebook. And of course, we want you to stay in tune and stay in touch with everything that's going on at BronxNet TV. And that's exactly where we are on Twitter, at BronxNet TV. So make sure you tweet along. And you know what? You can find me on Twitter too, people. And that would be at Rina Valentin. And the at is that symbol. Yeah, we're going to have a conversation about Twitter a little later. But first, we're going to get into the show. And like always, there's lots of things to do around the city. And, we're here to highlight some of those. It is now time for our Open Weekend Preview. First off, the Easter egg hunt on Saturday, March 31st. It starts at 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that's for children's ages 2 to 12. That's right. They'll hunt for eggs in the formal garden, express their inner artists at the arts and crafts table, and have their picture taken with the Easter Bunny. This is taking place at the Bartow Pell Mansion Museum on 895 Shore Road. That's in Pelham Bay Park. That's, of course, in the Bronx. And please remember to bring your own Easter egg baskets. And, of course, for more information, you can go to bartowpelhammansionmuseum.org. Next, Spring Fling is also around the corner. That's right, Ring in Spring at this joyous celebration along the East River. The 7th annual Spring Fling will take place along the East River at Brooklyn Bridge on March 31st. It all starts at 10:30 a.m. and that's happening at the Brooklyn Bridge. Brooklyn Bridge Park is located at Old Fulton and Water Streets in Brooklyn. And for more information, you can visit brooklynbridgepark.org. Next, Tween Summer Camp 2012 at Riverdale Neighborhood House. This camp for children 11 to 13. Yes, I'm afraid it's only for 11 to 13-year-olds. starts July 2nd and ends August 24th. And, well, there's a deposit required. So if you're interested in obtaining more information, you can go to riverdaleonline.org. Again, that's Riverdale Neighborhood House at 5521 Moshulu Ave in the Bronx. And finally, Bronx participation voting continues for participatory budgeting and making history by deciding how to spend at least $1 million to improve our community. This, basically, people, is your opportunity to choose to install security cameras, get new technology for schools and libraries, improve parks, as well as numerous other great projects. Voting will continue until this upcoming Saturday. That would be Saturday, March 31st, and that's happening between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. at Betances Senior Center, which is located at 401 St. Anne's Avenue. So make sure you let your friends and neighbors know that voting is going on right now, people. Right now. That's actually tomorrow. All right, that is what we have for you, and well, we hope that some of these things appeal to you. So make sure you get out there, enjoy everything that life has to offer. It's definitely going to be a beautiful weekend, we hope. Spring is in the air. All right, we got to move it right along because, well, you know, we're rocking out with our in-house DJ, Mr. Vince Bracey, and, well, we're going to have a little chat about Twitter and certain codes and things of that nature. So please welcome our DJ in the house, Vince Bracey. Hello, Mr. Vince Bracey. Good. So, all right, so first let's start with what we're listening to today.
Right. Well, today, I don't know if, you know, the people at home were paying attention, but today is our last show in Women's History Month.
That's right. And
I just, you know, pulled together a bunch of instrumentals by a bunch of female artists. So only female artists instrumentals today.
Nice. Yeah. Can we name some of them?
Missy Elliott, Aaliyah, Erykah Badu. Cool. Yeah, that's a couple.
Cool. Yeah. So, you know, we had already decided that we were going to have a conversation regarding our new world, right? We live in this cyber world of social media and so forth. And so lately, my conversations here on set have been geared to Twitter and Facebook. And, you know, just in case some of you are not familiar with this new way of communicating, which is what it is, right. We're going to start sharing like little notes and details about things such as Twitter. So Twitter is this social network in which, you know, I believe, I don't know how many characters it is. You're limited.
It's 140.
140 characters, right? So you're limited to what you can write, but it's this way of kind of like following people and having people follow you to communicate what's going on. However, it's almost like its own language, right?
Yes.
So as I said earlier, we had the @ right?
Yes.
So the @ is that symbol on the computer, or, you know, well, we don't have typewriters anymore, but on the keyboard, that's what I mean. That is an A with a circle around it.
Yes, the @ sign is basically to contact other people. The @ sign is, you know, goes in front of your name.
Or the account name.
Yes, the account name.
Because not everybody has the actual name as the account.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So that's what the @ stands for, Dave. And so then there's this other symbol, which is the number symbol, right? But it's referred to as hashtag.
Hashtag, the pound sign.
Right, the pound sign. So what is the hashtag for, and why, you know, you can get a little intimidated if you're not like a chirper or a social person. So just share with everybody about the hashtags.
So hashtags, for everybody out there, hashtags are basically, it's like a forum to let everybody know, oh, this is what I'm talking about. You put the pound sign in front of what you're saying, and anybody around the world can see, if they search for that specific hashtag or they click on your hashtag, they can see anybody tweeting about exactly what you're tweeting about. And it's really cool, especially if you have maybe a special event coming up, or a lot of movie and album people are putting out albums. They do that a lot
with the hashtags, right? And you don't even have to like open up a special account or anything like that,
right,
to actually put that hashtag in front of it. You can put that hashtag in front of anything you just want, kind of like filed in like, let's say, you know, sometimes I put motherhood in my hashtag because I write a lot on Twitter about my baby and the working out, the Rena Gets Lean, and mommy remedies and things like that. And so I always put mother or mommy or I love being a mom, and I put the hashtag so that whomever is looking up mommy stuff can relate to actually my stuff will pop up, right?
Definitely. And people can use that and they find it really helpful when maybe they're searching for a specific hashtag, and it works out.
Yeah, well, Vince, thanks so much for making sure we have this information to share with our viewers, because it's really the world we live in. Definitely. It's the world we live in, and so we're trying to help you guys get with us because we're online, and we're tweeting and we're on Facebook and we're doing all of that. So we're inviting you to join us because the cyber world expands our communication to the world.
Twitter at Rena Valentine, Twitter at Vince Bracey.
Nice. All right, Vince Bracey in the house today, people. All right, so we have to take a quick break, and when we come back, the people behind On Top will be in the studio. You have to stay tuned to find out about that.
Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
FGHI
right here.
JK
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly.
Here.
1 in 6 Americans will be
QRS.
sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family
1,
safer.
2, 3,
Check your
4,
steps at
5, 6, 7.
foodsafety.gov.
How you doing? I just want regular, no sugar today.
You got it.
Thanks. Hello.
Hi.
Did you eat that whole thing today?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Hi,
how you doing? She's getting big, huh?
Big. Yeah, she is big. Great haircut.
Yeah.
Looks cute. Come on, let's go. Nice to see you. Thanks a lot.
If only child abuse were this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. All calls are anonymous and confidential. Trust your instincts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Open. Rena Valentine here, and TNA is a comedy team that writes and produces short comedies online, and they will be releasing a short a month on YouTube, but they're short on top. will also be playing at the Bronx Week Film Festival. And to tell us more about this work, we welcome Sonia Gonzalez Martinez. Hello, Sonia.
Hi, Irina. How are you, honey?
Ooh, good. It's so exciting to have you here.
Thank you.
So, let's just introduce your work, and your work to our audience, because you have been in the film realm for quite a minute, and you actually are an editor, and you've come under certain names that are very familiar to everyone. So let's just share with everyone a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I've been an editor for a long time. I'm dating myself here. I started in the late 90s as an apprentice editor for Spike Lee, and then I kind of came up in the ranks that way. And in 2001, I just started editing my own projects, becoming my own editor. So some of the projects I edited was a documentary about Antonia Pantoja called Antonia Pantoja Presente, which is directed by Lillian Jimenez. I edited a short film that Vin Diesel did for Fast and Furious. He did a film called Los Bandoleros. So I edited that, and I edit mostly documentaries. Right now, I just finished one called Soul Food Junkies.
Soul Food Junkies, which is Byron
Hertz.
Right, Byron Hertz.
And it's about the history of soul food.
That's interesting. And is there a particular style of work that piques your interest?
I'm definitely drawn to social justice documentaries as an editor. I feel like that's kind of my contribution. So, I'm very interested in social justice documentaries.
So when you say you're interested in social justice documentaries, and just going back to Antonia Pantoja, which you mentioned earlier, and since it's Women's History Month, let's just share with everybody a little bit about who Antonia Pantoja was.
Antonia Pantoja came from Puerto Rico, and she came to the United States and immediately plugged into education and recognized that there was a vacuum, that a lot of kids that were just coming from Puerto Rico to the United States were being placed in classes for mentally retarded children because they couldn't speak English. So she was one of the pioneers of bilingual education, and she fought really hard for that. She was one of the organizers who came up with Aspira, which still exists today. She came up with that in the late 60s, I want to say. And she did a lot of work that Puerto Ricans are not so much aware of, but that we benefit from today.
So in this film that you edited, this is a feature film.
Yeah, it's a feature documentary. It was on PBS a couple of years ago. And I think that if people go to lpbp.org, they can watch the film online.
Beautiful. So I just to share with you guys a little bit of the work that Sonia does, because now what she's doing is like a total 360 in doing comedy. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how this came about.
This came about because I've been wanting to do comedy for a long time. I think that it's two sides of the coin in terms of reaching out to people. So in January of 2012, I don't know why 2012 has this thing for me. I decided, you know what, I'm really going to go for it. I reached out to Angelo Lozada and Tammy Kubelet.
Which, just to share with everyone, Angelo Lozada is considered like one of the top 50 Latinos in the United States.
Yeah, he's a comedian, stand-up comedian.
Right, 50 comedic Latinos, sorry.
Yeah.
So one of the top 50
stand-up comedians.
Yeah, stand-up comedians. That's what I meant.
He's hilarious. I've known Angelo forever. Tammy I've known forever. She was actually on House of Bugging, John Leguizamo's show that came out around after In Living Color. So the two of them, I approached them in January. I was like, let's just, I see everybody doing these short comedies, and let's do some of our own. We have our own sensibilities, and we got together, and we've been pretty much banging out a short a month.
And what are we looking at right now?
We're looking at On Top, which this is a segment on top. That was our last short that we did, and it's about a long married couple who struggle with the same request. And they've been married for a long time, and sometimes even though you love somebody and you're still you still find them sexy, sometimes when you've been with somebody for a long time, you get a little lazy with sex. Right. You know what I mean? So this actually comes from real life. You know what I mean? Where it's just like just getting with honey, it's like, come on, honey, you get on top. No, you get on top. And we were kind of negotiating that, like, no, you get on top. Like, come on, baby, I love the way you move it, and it's doing all that business. And then that's how the comedy came about. The short film came about, just like having that conversation with a loved one, with my husband, actually.
Oh, so it's you.
Yeah, but I'm lazy. But I know my husband's going to kill me. No. But no, it's not him, it's me. Sometimes I'm lazy,
She cleaned that one up.
Yeah. Have to.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're looking at right now cannot be seen on YouTube right now because this is actually going to premiere at the Bronx Film Festival, at the Bronx Week Film Festival.
Yeah, it's going to be on May 12th, I think, at the Bronx Film Festival, Bronx Week Film Festival.
And how long is the short?
The short is about 4 minutes.
Okay, so it's really a short.
Yeah, it's a really short.
Cute.
Yeah.
But aside from this one, you have other ones that are going to actually be accessible on YouTube at your YouTube channel.
Exactly.
Right? So just to share with everyone, the Bronx Week Film Festival is happening in May. Yes, it's happening Sunday, May 12th, and that's actually happening at the Bruckner Bar and Grill.
Oh, great.
Oh, actually, it's May 12th and May 13th, right? And so there's actually a gala night at the Bronx Rotunda on 161st Street. I'm going to share all that information with you guys after we're done discussing this wonderful journey that Miss Sonia and her
cohorts. we have another short called Decide or Choose. That's on YouTube that people can check out. That was our first short.
Decide or Choose?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that one about?
That one's about Tammy. In that one, they play themselves.
Right.
So Tammy's an actress who's hasn't acted in a long time because she has a day job now because you know how it is when you're acting, it's just like a hard grind. And she asked Angelo for advice, and she just goes on and on and on, and he just gives her his philosophy.
Right. Okay, so it's philosophy of actors.
Yeah, philosophy of actors, or Angelo's philosophy in this case.
Or Angelo's philosophy.
Yeah, so that's a little unique. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds unique. If anybody knows Angelo, he's definitely got a lot of unique advice.
Perspectives, yeah, exactly.
Perspectives, yes, that's a good way of putting it. So what YouTube channel is that?
It's TNA Flicks. TNA Flicks, so it's TNA Flicks, Flicks, all together, one word.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
So it's TNA Flicks. TNA Flicks. And once again, we are here discussing the premiere of the On Top, which is going to premiere at the Bronx Week Film Festival. And Sonia, are you directing this as well?
Directing the
shorts.
Yeah, I have been directing the shorts.
Yeah.
So it's been great. It's been so much fun.
So you're not just the editor this time. You're directing.
Exactly.
Nice.
And being an editor has helped me direct because I know exactly what we need, and because we have very little resources right now, I keep everything very simple. One location. I have my own camera. I get my friend to get his camera, 2 cameras, and we just bang it out.
Nice.
With what we have.
Nice.
Very Robert Rodriguez school of use what you have and just get it out there.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know what? Congratulations on just taking what you have and just exercising it on a whole nother level.
Exactly.
And of course, more than anything, just getting the material out there, documenting and telling our stories from another perspective.
Exactly. Thank you.
Oh, of course.
It's been a blast.
Awesome. So once again, Sonia and TNA Comedy, you can find them on YouTube, and that's at TNA Flicks. But before we go, I just want to share the Bronx Week Film Festival information. You can go to Boogie Downer, actually info at olympiafilms.com, filmlocations.com. So that would be olympiafilmslocations.com, and that's happening Saturday and Sunday, May 12th and 13th at Bruckner Bar and Grill, and the gala is at the Bronx Rotunda on 161st, and the Grand Concourse, that's Thursday, May 17th, and you can check out the blog Boogie Downer as well. And I believe the submissions are already done because we did make announcements on anybody interested in submitting shorts. So at this point now, it's just let's see what they chose. So I hope you guys are excited because I know we are. And once again, thank you, Sonia Gonzalez. All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we got to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to be speaking to Zoe the photographer. But up next, the latest episode of Rena Gets Lean. Hi, I'm Rena Valentin. You know me as the host of Open Fridays, and my most recent role is that of being a mom to a 2-year-old. With that said, everything else fell to the side. And now I'm trying to restructure my world and hers to transform our lives. Join me on this Bronx Strong initiative as I try out different methods of training and revamp my eating habits to design a healthy lifestyle. Welcome to Rena Gets Lean. Today we're at the Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx, and my daughter and I decided to take a class, a bomba class I might add, which is the folkloric dance of Puerto Rican culture, and today we're going to be completing our 6 weeks course. Miteri, who is the instructor, decided to design this particular bomba dance routine around Charmbida, and we were referring to her as the Bombazo Bee. So we've been rehearsing this one particular dance throughout the entire 6 weeks, and she's been rehearsing right by my side. The minute I get on stage and she realizes that she is not in the routine, she screams from the top of her lungs because she's been rehearsing this one piece the entire 6 weeks, and here comes performance time and she's not included. And I knew why she was screaming and my heart was broken. And based on hearing that while I was on stage, I stumbled. I stumbled and I lost a few steps and I was distracted. Who knew all that time she was actually retaining all of this? Because when she got on that floor, everything stopped. I mean, except for the drummers, of course. And there was an instantaneous connection between her and the drummer. You do it now, yeah. We're gonna do it together. No, we're gonna do it together. We're gonna do it together. Yeah! Go, Charm, right there. Do it to them. Yeah, go. In bomba, the dancer actually controls the sound, in a sense. She's like the composer because the way she marks the skirt is what the drummer's supposed to follow. The minute I get to the drums, everything that I have been taught is not even part of the movement I do. It isn't even part of it. It's really like, it's second nature. Moment is almost like a validation of me saying to myself in my head, I will be thin again. And I will do it from this holistic place of understanding all of the other elements that play a factor in not just losing weight, designing and creating this new lifestyle. Now that I've gotten in touch with my past, time to get in touch with my nutritionist in the next episode of Rena Gets Lean. Woo! I am excited, people. I hope you're excited, and thanks for sticking around. Welcome back to the studio, and for more tips on eating healthy and getting in shape, all you gotta do is like us on Facebook at Rena Gets Lean. That's right, Facebook, Rena Gets Lean. And for any previous episodes, all you gotta do is go to bronxnet.org/Rena Gets Lean. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at Rena Valentine. And my hashtag on Twitter is, the # Rena Gets Lean. We want to hear from you, and at Bronx Strong. So definitely, yes, stay with us. And now we have, we have Zoe, Alonzo Zoe Boldin. He has 20 years of experience in making his subjects feel comfortable in front of the camera. He does weddings, models, studio work, film sets, you name it, Zoe has photographed it. And to talk about more of his talents and, where he's headed next, and maybe he'll even share some of the celebrities he's captured recently. Please welcome to the show, Alonzo Boldin. Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you again.
Oh, it's so wonderful to have you in studio, darling.
Yeah, I'm still nervous.
Yeah, don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. Okay, so Zoe's a little nervous because he's used to being behind the camera. We're going to help him out.
I'll try to be all right.
No, I'm sure you can be fine. And, I just want to share with everyone that Zoe is actually a photographer that captures a lot of the work that I do as well. So it's truly an honor to have you here and share with everyone all the wonderful work that you're doing, because he's out there like capturing local stuff and celebrity stuff. So it's a nice variation of work. So just share with everybody what's going on lately.
What you just said everything for me.
I did. I said everything for you.
It's about, the photography, the film, and everything like that. But like you said, the 25 year, shooting, and it just keeps going and keeps going, and weddings, models,
Okay, so what inspires you to jump like that? Because you're capturing so many different angles, and usually photographers kind of stick to one direction, and you don't, and you're great at all of them.
You just shoot, and people photography is what I like to do. So
people photography.
Yeah.
So share a little bit about that. What's that about? People photography.
Like you said, jumping from genre to genre. Like I guess wherever there's an image, I'm going to try to create the best image within that genre, If I'm weddings, and I always say, I don't like to be the jack of all trades and master of none, but it looks like it's called me to do every subject that somebody wants me to search.
So we're looking at some local events that we just, some images right now, and what is this we're looking at?
That was a toy drive I do every year with Total Industry. For the homeless kids and the less fortunate, and they do that every year, and I always go there and capture their events and everything. It's Sue, that is Kango Kid Icon, UTFO. He's the advocate for the Mama Luke Breast Cancer Foundation, so he's involved with that. That was on World AIDS Day at Bronx Neverland Hospital, with the kids perform for the patients and everything like that. So that was really nice.
Okay, so that's wonderful. So you're out there in our community. Oh, what was that? What was that we just saw with those women? Let's look at that again. Can we look at that again? I want to. Ooh, what's that?
That was called Beauty in the Community. You had 5 women of different races and nationalities come together for beauty and look like models, but 3 of them are models. And 2 are moms with kids and everything. So it goes to show you can look like that with just a little hair, makeup, and no big props, but that's the inner beauty. So that's why we called it the Natural Beauty Unleashed shoot.
That's beautiful. That is a beautiful shot.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. So, that was that something explorational, and I'm just asking because obviously you're covering events, and then we're saving the best for last because Zoe's captured some serious celebrities out there as well. So I mean, do you have to are you one of those people that has to push people?
It gets like that sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes, but you have to have the respect in this business too, because it comes really gritty sometimes, and everybody wants that shot, But I learned to go where somebody else is not going. You catch another angle and you still get it.
Right.
So because I have the respect of my other cameramen around me, so that's tough sometimes, but you still got to get it no matter what.
All right. So who are some of the celebrities that we're going to look at?
Who do you have? Cheryl Wills.
Oh, who's it? Oh, we all know who that is. Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson. That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, they like that one too.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah. Mind you, a lot of these shots I send in.
There's Cheryl Wills.
Yeah.
I know these shots are actually taken from your website, so they're not in their exact image, but that's
good enough.
No, they're good enough. They're good enough. Well, actually, you can have a ball visiting his website because it has images from lots of celebrities, and the reason I guess you're here is to just share with everyone the services that you provide, and basically for people to know that you're actually out there capturing, because you do a lot of this stuff, on your own as well.
Yeah. Just shoot to shoot and shoot.
Just shoot to shoot to shoot. So let's say somebody's into photography and this is, the field that they're looking to get into. What would you suggest? I don't know if necessarily we should discuss equipment because I wouldn't really understand what you mean. However, feel free to if somebody who is a photographer may understand. So.
Well, first of all, you can't go. Don't expect to make a lot of money.
Right.
You have to have the love of it. You have to have the patience, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to delve into it, and I didn't make a lot of money until later on, and still sometimes I don't.
Right.
But you have to have the love of it. It has to come, and it just calls you. And, like a musician, the song is written and you put it out there, and if it doesn't sell, but you wrote it from your heart and you shoot it from your heart, same thing,
How long have you been shooting? 25 years, right? So,
from
like
79.
professionally, is that professionally?
Professionally, my first real gig was like 88.
88.
So from 88 down was my hobby.
Okay, so in your process, has your equipment upgraded? Like, is that
yeah.
Okay? So that I guess that's what I was asking about. Like, people go out and they buy all this fancy equipment, and then they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's a progression, because you can't. You have to learn the camera. You have to learn. It's a lot of math. It's a lot of numbers, and you can't go out there and spend a lot of money if you're not gonna stick with it. So it's an investment, and you have to put the time in, and the equipment comes with it. It took me a long time before. Now I shoot with the 70, the 40, the 50D. The Mark 7 was just given to me. So, I know I'm just throwing numbers out.
It's good, because that's exactly what I was talking about. He's actually throwing those numbers of cameras and equipment. That
I still use my film camera sometimes.
You still use your film camera, so tell us, what's the difference?
I wish, I don't know if they're going to ever make that camera that makes it look like film, but if they do, I know they're in the process of it, and I go back to my Nikon FE3 or FM1, and I shoot that, and I see the difference in, what I shoot now, and I'm like, wow. And we had no Photoshop then. We had to do everything ourselves, so you had to make that shot look great, and I still use that mentality.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't use a lot of Photoshop. I won't allow myself to, if it's really needed, because you have to capture that perfect beginning instead of just saying, well, I'll clean it up later. There is no clean it up later. I don't want to clean it up later. I want it now.
Nice.
And you like the work me and you've done, everything was and we photographed some great stuff together.
Yes, no, I love working with you, and it's our pleasure to actually bring you here on the set and share your work in a different year with your more upgraded equipment, as well as your sophisticated shots, and watch your progression of documentation, because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You're documenting our history.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing so, and if you're interested in his work and or hiring him, you can check him out by going to photographbyzoe.com, right? That's correct? Did I say that right?
Photographybyzoe.com.
Oh, photography
by Zoe. I get confused myself sometimes, because it's Zoe Photography photographybyzoe.com website.
How many photos do you say you have?
What do you mean? As far
like all together, like how many photographs would you estimate you have?
Oh, from the beginning to now?
Yes.
Oh my God, maybe over 1 million.
Over 1 million photos.
And I'm not exaggerating.
Wow.
From 79 up to now?
Wow.
Am I saying my age?
I didn't say that. I don't.
All right.
All right, no, it's a pleasure. And we just gave you a little taste of his website, once again, for any more photos. I mean, he's got photos of Snoop Dogg there, right? That was the first shot, and lots. I mean, you'll have fun going through his website, so check him out at photographybyzoe.com. Photographybyzoe.com. All right, don't go anywhere. Bobby C's up next with a 1-2 punch of sports. But first, let's take a look at a space that is no longer empty. That's right. BronxNet reporter Sylvia Anglin was there, and she'll tell us more.
This is a dispensary area, and there's whole packets of adult diapers and canes. My name's Menon Sloman. I'm the curator of No Longer Empty, which is an organization which takes over abandoned or empty spaces and creates site-specific exhibitions and programming in these spaces. Not only investigate the history of the space, but also the surrounding community, and then the programming that we create is all designed to engage the community and expand the audience for contemporary art.
No, this must have meant a lot to somebody sometime. These suitcases, half-empty suitcases, you ask yourself, what was going on there? See what I mean? This has a lot of potential. It's a great building. It's architecturally beautiful, and I'm glad that something else is happening to it now.
Countless lives that had stories and depth in them. And we're here as artists who just have an opportunity to be part of the reopening of the Andrew Freeman House.
I have to place like the drawings.
These parts are what kind of drawings here, and the background kind of white. The whole idea of the project is also to collaborate outside of the room, so you can expect something nice, like a nice collaboration right there.
Really happy that, like, I was invited, and this is like the perfect occasion to get to know better what's all about.
I used to come by here all the time. I never knew this building, what it was. I thought it was a park. And then to be part of a group of artists chosen to work in here, it's pretty exciting.
It's great when artists can have an opportunity to become part of a conversation and kind of unearth kind of hidden histories. And it's great to educate myself and, figure out how to make work about the specifics of this space.
It's been almost 30 years since the Andrew Freeman home hosted its last tenant, and today the home is now a working and living art exhibit for Bronxites and artists from abroad. For BronxNet, this is Sylvia Anglin.
Anybody know what time it is? I think it's Tebow time.
Oh, okay.
Tebow time.
The Tim Tebow era in the Big Apple kicked off Monday afternoon in Florham Park, New Jersey at the Atlantic Health Center, the training facility of the New York Jets. Tebow traded from Denver to New York last week after the Broncos signed NFL great Peyton Manning. Was greeted by a crush of over 250 credentialed media. It's more than likely the first time a backup quarterback has ever had an introduction like this.
Just that I'm looking forward to my time here in New York and my time as a Jet, and I'm so honored and humble to be a Jet. I'm so thankful that they wanted me.
Tebow uttered the words, "I'm excited," 45 times during his 32-minute session.
So I was really excited. I'm excited about how exciting it is. I'm excited to be a Jet, and so I'm excited to be a Jet, and I'm excited to be here.
Excitement withstanding, the question remains, how will Tebow and starter Mark Sanchez coexist?
I think Mark is very secure as a football player and as a person and who he is, and I think working together we'll be able to encourage one another.
The former Florida Gator, a two-time national champion and Heisman winner, established himself as an inspirational leader on the field in Denver last season, winning a playoff game against Pittsburgh and setting the league upside down. Tebow mania and Tebowing took center stage despite his league's lowest-rated passer rating. His openly devout Christian beliefs and his knack for fourth-quarter heroics made him as big a star in the NFL as he was in Gainesville, Florida.
I think it really matters, how well we do and how well, I can pick everything up and go out there and how well we're doing. So, my goal is to go out there and try to execute it as well as I possibly can and improve every single day.
Tebow and the Jets say the deal is far from a publicity stunt. The coaching staff has come out in the media and said that they expect Tebow to be on the field for at least 20 plays a game thanks to the Wildcat formation, something new offensive coordinator Tony Sparano instituted in Miami and was successful in doing so.
It can be confusing. I think it can make defenses play slow, and I think when you have a great offensive coordinator like Coach Sparano that can put together packages and plays and not necessarily have tendencies, then I think it can be effective.
Ultimately, Tebow is a believer in Jet football.
And I'm so honored to be here, and it's such a blessing for me, and it truly is an honor to be a Jet. I'm so grateful to be here.
How exciting. Tebow's beginnings in New York have not come without some controversy. Reports now indicate that Mark Sanchez was not made aware of the deal by the team. Should be an interesting training camp in August. When the Super Bowl champ Giants open camp, they will do it without bruising running back and emotional leader Brandon Jacobs. After failing to agree to a deal with Big Blue earlier in the offseason, Jacobs decided to join teammate Mario Manningham in San Francisco. The two new 49ers will have an opportunity to shine against their former team, perhaps even in the playoffs. The NFL season for the New York Giants will open in a playoff-like atmosphere. The G-Men will kick off the season on September 5th against rival Dallas in the Meadowlands. The nationally televised game is slated for 8:30 and allows the president to make his speech during the Democratic National Convention that Thursday without having to contend with the champs. Obama, Eli Manning, better this way. We shift gears to the college basketball hardwood. The men's Final Four is set. Number 4, Louisville, the Big East champ, versus number 1, Kentucky, Saturday night in the first semifinal. The contest pits legendary coaches John Calipari and Rick Pitino. The nightcap features a pair of 2 seeds in Ohio State and Kansas as 2 of the foursome try to advance to the title game. Locally, Monroe College women's basketball won its second straight NJCAA Division II national championship. Monroe defeated Lake Michigan 78-73. They finished the season at an impressive 31-6, doing so in the first season for new head coach James Robinson Jr. On the high school hardwood, St. Raymond advanced to the Federation as detailed on our latest Sports NYC and ran into boys and girls. Rays fell 66-54 in the Class AA semifinal at the Times Union Center. Still a great season for the boys from the Bronx, the city champs. The New York Knicks have the look of champions these days since Mike Woodson has taken the helm. The orange and blue have been nearly unstoppable. The Knicks won their third straight Wednesday night, overwhelming Orlando 108-86. The Knicks are 8-1 on Woodson's watch. New York played without big man Amari Stoudemire Wednesday night. He will be sidelined for 2 to 4 weeks with a bulging disc in his back. However, he won't need surgery and is expected back before the end of the regular season. Point guard Jeremy Lin is nursing a sore knee, but could be back either tonight in Atlanta or tomorrow at home when the Knicks welcome Cleveland to the Garden. The Knicks are clinging to the 8th and final playoff spot. On the baseball diamond, the Bronx Bombers are wrapping up the spring training slate. They fell 4-3 to Baltimore Thursday night and are now 13-11 in spring action. All-star Curtis Granderson was back in the lineup after missing 2 games with elbow soreness. Yankee manager Joe Girardi is not too concerned about Granderson, who is expected to be ready for opening day next week, but is rather focused on his pitching rotation. The Bombers are mulling Michael Pineda and Ivan Nova for the 5th and final spot in the rotation, and Girardi has made very few commitments to the rotation aside from ace CC Sabathia and veteran Hiroki Kuroda, who was signed in the offseason. Mets pitcher Mike Pelfrey retired the final 10 batters he faced Thursday night, while David Wright is coming around nicely from his recent injuries. Wright belted a grand slam as the Amazons topped Livan Hernandez and the Houston Astros 9-1. Time for some quick hitters. Stanford won the NIT title game at MSG Thursday night. Number 3 Stanford 75, number 6 Minnesota 51. One of 12 finalists. Sources say that Rick Pitino is not heading to the Basketball Hall of Fame this year. He'll have a chance to make history in the Final Four if he wins this year, and that could change his fortune down the road. On the ice, the Rangers have a 5-point lead in the East. The Blue Shirts face Montreal at the Garden tonight before welcoming rival Boston to MSG Sunday. Yankee reliever Jabba Chamberlain, who severely injured his ankle in a trampoline accident while playing with his son, has vowed to return this year. We'll see what happens with Jabba. Former NBA star Magic Johnson headlined a group that purchased the LA Dodgers this week. The cost, $2 billion. Those are the headlines. Let's hit the C-list for early returns from the spring. The Bronx Net boys hit the road this coming week for the wrap-up of spring training action. The Yankees will be in Miami Sunday, Monday to open the Marlins' new ballpark. The Bronx Bombers will then face the Mets Tuesday and Wednesday before gearing up for the real deal next Friday in Tampa. We will be live on the program in Tampa next Friday with a morning report from opening day. With that in mind, here are some early predictions for our New York baseball teams. I believe the Yankees are better than a year ago when they won more games than any in the American League. I wouldn't expect anything less this season, so let's go with 98 wins for the Bombers, first place in the very competitive AL East. Meanwhile, I think the Mets are going to surprise some, especially with more playoff spots up for grabs in 2012. They won 77 a year ago with the fences moved in and Johan Santana healthy. I'll say they win 83 and compete for a playoff spot this year. One thing's for sure, regardless of outcome for the two teams in Gotham, it's grand to have baseball back in the Big Apple. That's your sports on Bobby C. Baseball is back. Going to Miami first, Port St. Lucie, and then Tampa.
Nice. Vacation business related?
Well, just all baseball.
All baseball.
Baseball is always business, but it's certainly, vacation too.
Especially when you're in warm weather.
Warm weather is nice.
Enjoying the camps.
Should be good.
All right, so once again, you're tweeting nowadays?
Every now and again.
Okay, we'll just
At
share
the
with
Voice
everybody
Bobby
what your Twitter account is.
At the Voice Bobby C. That's
at the Voice Bobby C, people. All right, we got to take a quick break. Thank you, Bobby C. And when we come back, we have a nice poet in the house. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darks there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live united for education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
When it's time for lunch, a sandwich is a quick and easy choice. And with the right ingredients, it can be good and good for you. So I'm here today to see who can build the ultimate sandwich. All right, when the time is up, our judges will give you their scores. Ready, set, go! Okay, Jason starts out with a multi-grain roll. Ooh, Allison stuffing her pita with, yes, spinach, a great source of iron. Jason isn't skipping on the protein, adding plenty of smoked turkey, just like Allison's putting the finishing touches with crispy red bell peppers for a dose of vitamin A. Time! It looks like we have a tie. We'll need to call in our special guest referee.
Now these are what I call quick, delicious lunches. Whole grain breads, a whole variety of ingredients. There are so many different ways to build delicious, healthy sandwiches. These two get high marks in every category. I'd say you're both winners. America.
Let's get healthy together.
Mom, I'm not gonna go to college.
What are you saying? You've got to go to college.
Well, they offered me a job and...
Son, college is much more important.
No.
Yes.
No, Mom.
Yes.
Anyways, it's my decision.
Okay, well then decide what degree you're going to get because you will go to college.
Their tomorrow depends on your words today. The Hispanic Scholarship Fund has the information you need to help your kids go to college.
Did you find the flashlight and the batteries?
Yes.
Did you make sure we're not missing anything in the first aid kit?
Yep.
Did you go through the plan with the kids again?
Yes. The more you prepare today, the more you'll be able to reduce the devastating effects of a tornado, an earthquake, a power outage, or any other disaster.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Open. Rina Valentin here, and we have Jennifer Sky Cabrera. She's been writing, she's been writing journals and poems since she was 8 years old, and she was born to Dominican and Greek parents, and writing has been her outlet for expression, and so now we're going to find out a little bit more about her writing. Please welcome to the set, Jennifer Sky Cabrera. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yes, yes.
So, it's the first time I'm on this show, actually. So, and, what can I say about Lehman College? This is my dream school, so thank you guys for having me.
What do you mean, your dream school?
My dream school, I always wanted to come to this school, so.
You still could. You still
I
could.
maybe might, I might. I'm here, so.
Right. So, just share a little bit about your writing journey before we get into Music for Caterpillars.
Okay, writing. I've been writing, like she said, since I'm 8. Pretty much from being in the back of the classroom in math class, because I hated math. So writing was my passion. That's what I would do. And just throughout my childhood, just in my bedroom, that's how I started writing journals. And it just escalated from there, from journals to Facebook to MySpace to different venues. So that's how I've started, yeah.
And in writing all of this, right, you actually, is this your first book release?
Yeah, this is my first book release. Actually, I had this fear that I was going to die before I was 26. So I said that I had to do everything on my list before that. So I had to publish this book. And I did it on my own. I edited it with a friend of mine, and I just had to put it out there. I had to write it. Whether it was published or not, I just had to put it out there. So I just made it happen.
So when was this book released?
This was released in November on Amazon.com. So it's pretty recent, yep.
How old are you now?
I am 26.
You're 26?
Yeah.
Okay, can we have a conversation about this anxiety that you were
Yeah, I
dealing
was
with?
having an anxiety, actually, when I was younger. I had like this intuition that I thought I was going to die when I was 26.
Intuition. That's not intuition.
It didn't happen, thank God.
Yes. Hello. Here we are, 26. I mean, maybe it was just a way to motivate you to get something done by a certain time period.
Yeah, well, that tends to happen to people sometimes when they develop some sort of, like, a fear or a tragedy happens, and then which is essentially what happens with caterpillars before they die. They tend to consume a lot of food because they know they're going to morph into another life or what they think is another life.
Woo, so we're going to get a taste of your metamorphosis.
Right. That's where that stems from, that story.
Nice, nice. All right. So we have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will have more on Jennifer Sky Cabrera in our Open Artist Spotlight.
Thank you.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles. Everybody bring it in. I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
I'm back. All right, you heard her talk about her influences earlier, and now it's time for our Open Artist Spotlight.
The Open Artist Spotlight is made possible in part with public funds from the Bronx Council on the Arts through the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization Program.
Please welcome to the open stage, Jennifer Sky Cabrera.
Do you remember Orchard Beach, Gun Hill, Pelham Bay Park? Cupping fireflies in our palms, mid-July, cherry icy after dark. Do you remember Orchard Beach, Gun Hill, Pelham Bay Park? Cupping fireflies in our palms, mid-July, cherry icy after dark. This is for the man on West Farm Square, right beneath the 2 line, who steals water from fire hydrants so he can brew coffee for $1 to send to his parents in Colombia so that they can survive. But don't even try to search for him, because he sent off another hustler who does it for him, unafraid of doing time. And this is for the hustlers across the great urban divide. Ecuador pushing shopping carts full of carnations, flowers, and if you give them a smile like me, you'll get roses, 4 stems for the low price of 5. And this is for the hustlers that kick off their high heels as soon as that door opens. Working that 9 to 5 and late night courses at VMCC and still finding time to cook those yummy rice and beans, smiling in photographs so their children can remember that hood doesn't necessarily need to be the synonym for hopeless or late night candlelight nervous fingers off smoking. For the grandmothers with tired knuckles making empanadas to try to profit off of that EBT. Or the man down on Southern Boulevard hustling off rosary beads. I got this 1985 refurbished color screen TV. You know it's normally $30, but for you the low price of 15. I got those Lucy's DVDs, a nickel or a dime, or those handmade baskets you can find on the countertops of bodegas during the same time of St. Valentine's. I mean, that thrive is the Bronx, that urge to progress. And I've been all around the world, but there is no other more beautiful continent. Thank you.
Everyone come, darling. All right, we just want to share before we wrap up. Music for Caterpillars is on Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
Amazon.com, and congratulations.
Thank you.
On your metamorphosis, and thank you for sharing such lovely words. And once again, Music for Caterpillars from Jay Sky Cabrera. And before we go, do you have any performances coming up?
Actually, I'm performing at BAD, Bronx Academy of Arts and Dance, tonight at 8 p.m. It's on Barretto Street. And the next step, I guess, for me is I'm trying to get into theater. So theater is the next thing, writing plays and songs.
Beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
Woo, you're welcome. Jay Sky Cabrera. All right, that is all the time we have. Thank you so much for that glimpse of your mind. Woo! And for more on the book, once again, you can go for Music for Caterpillars, go to Amazon.com. We are out of time, people. I hate when that happens, but, you know, we'd like to thank all of our guests, Sonia Gonzalez Martinez, Alonso Poldin, Bobby C, Jennifer Sky Cabrera.